military move here, which is kind of controversial over here, but it seems like that my basic take on it is that you've got like, it seems to me like over here in the United States, we always had like the crazy two pacifist leftists that were trying to be noble and nice by basically saying that we just shouldn't be involved in the world at all, and we should become impotent basically, and the world would be a better place that way, which seems completely naive. And it seems to me like the Reagan policy was basically peace through strength, which was kind of like, okay, we're not doing that. And then more recently we had some problems where we didn't have the objective right, and the most common example there was the Iraq War, where we didn't really know what we were doing. We've responded to the Twin Towers being taken out by airplanes, and the initial response seems to me was pretty good. But we went over there and it was so clean, it seemed like the first time was pretty straightforward. So then I think they started to think, oh, what we can do is we can go over there and we can kind of fix it, right? But the problem is the place was, it seems to me it wasn't conducive to wanting to be a democratic republic or whatnot, or it was difficult, or they didn't really have an objective. Clearly, they didn't define the terms, and therefore it made our military look. It made us look kind of stupid. It kind of made us look stupid because the military needs an objective, right? Didn't seem like there was a clear one, and they call that the forever wars. And now you've got the rise of what they're calling the woke right, which includes, I guess, the Groypers now on the right. I don't know who all these terms are, but the woke right, I'll just use the term, seems to be taking, in essence, the same position as the super pacifists, leftists, that had to be explained to that peace through strength was the way to go. Because the super woke right guys are now saying that we should not intervene with anyone, but not from a perspective of like, we're trying to be super nice and like we don't want to be mean, but because we're going to be greedy mean. We're going to be extremely, because we're just going to fend for ourselves, and it's us first kind of thing, which self-interest is fine, but it's a naive way to think about it, because it's ridiculous to think that you can't, that as if our interests are not worldwide when it's a global economy and there's a global playing field. And like we went over and bombed Iran, like the nuclear plant, like in a day, right? So it's not like you could just sit over here and be like, oh, I'm just going to isolate, like I'm not going to, it seems like such a naive way of thinking of it. So it seems to me somewhere in the middle has to be there, right? So, and then they try to compare everything to the Iraq thing, meaning the forever war. So every time we do something, they took out the nuclear plant in Iran, and they say, well, that's going to turn into to the Iraq thing. And it's like, well, no, it's different it's different circumstances. They went over there with a clear objective. They did the thing and they left. It's not the same thing, you crazy people. You have to analyze the situation, and then now you've got the same thing happening in like Venezuela, other Latin American countries as well have. They're not all the same situation, but you have some that are like, it seems like there's like an illegitimate dictator, and you've got the people that actually want to go back to a democratic republic. Now, from my perspective as an American, it would be nice if they were a democratic republic, because that would mean they're freedom oriented, and that would mean that they would probably naturally move away from China and Russia and be more we could understand them better and trade better and do everything. So that would be better for everyone, seems to me. Same with like the whole Iran situation. There seems to be stuff going on over there. It seems to me the situation there is different than the forever war in Iraq, because you have a bunch of people who, once again, seems like they want a democratic republic, and they've had it. They know how to do it. It's not like a totally foreign thing. And so it's just, so it seems like if if you were able to change the situation so someone like Iran actually became more of a democratic republic, how would that be not good for us? I mean, that's ridiculous. That would mean that they would pull away from this axis of power that's happening with the people in charge with China and Russia, and they would naturally want to be away from them more because they're not just because they're trying to decentralize the power, which means we would understand them better and you would trade better with us, which would be like a cold. Seems to me we're kind of in a Cold War situation with China and Russia right now. So it seems to me like it would be great if Iran became more of a democratic republic, and then I mean, I'm not even sure that would be like amazing, but clearly some of the places in Latin America, it seems to me it's a different situation is what I'm saying than just going into Iraq. You can't just put all the situations in one group and act like they're all the same. Okay, so that's the basis. So I kind of feel like, I don't know what's going to go on from here, but I kind of feel like, I give them the benefit of the doubt that this could be a move that goes towards a democratic republic, which would be good for everybody. That's my general take on it. I'm just a normal, so I'm not like an expert or anything. But so, anyways, that's the basis of my joke. Peace through strength is the key. No vibes, no intent, no strongly worded international concern. That doesn't do it. That you might think that sounds nice, doesn't help. It doesn't help. The U.S. military doctrine needs to be long, strong, and stubbornly persistent over time, which can be efficiently summarized in one highly technical strategic term I call schlongevity. Schlongevity. Schlongevity is the fusion of long, strong, and potent, meaning FAFO certified. I mean, if you want a potent military, you need a military with schlongevity. There, I said it. History already knew it. I just trademarked it. So let's be honest. By the way, international law has become weaponized guilt. International law is like DEI that went crazy in the United States. It's ridiculous. Who makes international law? It's like it's like you've got people that do not have good incentives in mind making international law, and then we're over here going, oh, we're going to follow. Come on. It's just all a guilt. The international law, like DEI has been weaponized guilt. No laws, tomes, knee-high tomes. So knee-high tomes designed to be placed directly in front of freedom-seeking nations, especially the United States. So every step forward becomes a shin-smashing guilt trip. Yes, international law has officially evolved from figurative guilt trip to a literal obstacle course of shame. It's a literal freaking guilt trip at this point in time. Freedom-seeking people can't move an inch without tripping over Article 47, subsection B, paragraph, you should feel bad. Okay? That's not even a law. That doesn't even make sense. These laws don't make sense. We don't need to listen to them, to this international law thing. It's a myth. It's not even a thing. And if we let the guilt trip tomes calcify, the tomes will turn into rocks. And once they're rocks, the woke right and the woke left will start throwing them at normal people. Because apparently, for some reason, the normal people, the normies out there, are the problematic ones now. That's how it seems to work. Congratulations. We've gone from guilt trip to guilt stoning. This is not good. We went from a literal guilt trip to a little. That's what we have to stop the whole international. No. I'm going to see if it does it line up with the United States law. That's what we should be kind of focusing in here. Don't give me this red herring crap, All because the law book's hardened, man. Seems pretty clear Trump and Rubio aren't buying into the new woke right isolationist monastery plan. It's as stupid as the pacifist plan. It's dumb. The whole point of the whole point we pay taxes to the government is so that they can negotiate around the world on our behalf and defend us using whatever means is basically necessary. Otherwise, all the states would be doing their own thing, and all of us and all the companies would be doing the same thing. No, we pay the government so that they interact with the world on our behalf as a united state entity, you know? And then you have to have peace through military schlongevity. Peace through military schlongevity. You naive, pacifistic lunatics and isolationists, doesn't work. Thank you for your attention to this matter. P.S. Rubio for president. I'm liking Rubio as the front runner right now.